Hello everyone. So today in this video we'll be covering Parliament chapter through constitutional provisions. So basically Parliament chapter consists of it's a long chapter. So starting from Article 79 to Article 122, and we'll be covering in two parts. First we'll be covering Article 79 to Article 100 in today's lecture, that is part 1. And in part 2, in the next lecture, I'll be covering 101 to 122. Each and every article will be covered in detail from a prelims perspective. Okay. So you can only read you can only watch this video after you have completed your Lakshmikant book, so that you get the required clarity, conceptual clarity. Okay. So today we'll be covering around nearly 20 articles, that is 79 to Article 100. It starts from Constitution of Parliament. Okay. So we'll be covering till Article 100, that is voting. Okay, fine. So we can start. So Parliament comes under Chapter 2 of the Constitution. So Article 79 talks about there shall be a Parliament for the Union which shall consist of the President and two houses to be known as Council of States and House of People. Now here I need to tell something. We should note down one thing. Here Council of States and House of People is mentioned. Here Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, the term Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha are not mentioned anywhere in the Constitution. It is the Council of States, that is the Rajya Sabha, and the House of People, that is the Lok Sabha. Okay. And one more thing I want to tell you, कि the term Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha were first time used in 1954 elections. Okay, not in 1951. It's in 1954. It is the second elections. Okay, fine. So Article 79, according to Article 79, the Parliament consists of the President, Council of States, that is the Rajya Sabha, the Upper House, House of the People, that is the Lower House. Now Article 80, composition of Council of States. The Council of States, that is the Rajya Sabha, it will have 12 members to be nominated by President in accordance with the provision of Clause 3. Clause 3 will be studying now. This is the Clause 3. We'll come to that. So 12 members nominated by President, not more than 238 representatives. Okay, not more than 238 representatives from both states and UT included. The allocation of seats in the Rajya Sabha will be filled by representatives of the states and Union territories, shall be in accordance with the provision in the behalf contained in the 4th schedule. Okay. Now the clause number 3. Clause number 3 is the members to be nominated by the President under clause sub A1, that is the 12 members. Like what is the 12 members it will be nominated by President? Like what are the special characteristics or the qualifications? So those persons should have special knowledge or practical experiences in these 4 things. So you have to remember only these 4: literature, science, art, and social service. Any other thing other than these 4, any other thing which is not included here, is a wrong statement. Only these 4, okay, explicitly mentioned in our Constitution. Okay, next. The representatives of each state in the Council of States shall be elected by the elected members of the Legislative Assembly of the state in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. It is very common. Rajya Sabha elections, presidential elections happens with this proportional representation by a single transferable vote. And the representatives of each state in the Council of States shall be elected by the elected members, not nominated members. It is the elected members of the Legislative Assembly of the state. Okay. Now, these are about the representatives of the state in the Rajya Sabha. Now, what about the Union territories? The representatives of the UTs in the Rajya Sabha shall be chosen by Parliament. Parliament by law will do it. Parliament has made a law, that is the Union Territories Act of 1963. So Union Territories representatives can be done as per the Parliament. Okay, so Parliament has been given the power in the Constitution for Union Territories representatives in Rajya Sabha. The article lays on the provision of composition of the Council of States, which comprises of two things. Same thing have been mentioned here. 12 members nominated by the President. These are the four things: literature, science, art, and social service. Secondly, the representatives of states and union territories shall not be greater than 238, and single transferable vote, that is the proportional representation, allocation of seats as per specified in the fourth schedule. Fourth schedule consists of allocation of seats, and the Council of States is a permanent body. Its members are elected for a period of 6 years, but one third of its members retire after every 2 years. Okay, tenure is 6 years, and one third of its members retire after every 2 years. Now there was a case regarding Nota. Okay, we all know what is Nota. Okay, in Shailesh Manubhai Parmar versus Election Commission 2018 case, the Supreme Court held that the introduction of Nota, that is none of the above, in Rajya Sabha elections would undermine the value of party discipline, create space for corruption, and encourage defection. Nota was introduced for direct elections where one person's vote would have only one value, but implementing it in the representative form of election where elected candidates choose a representative of an entire state by open ballot would prove dangerous to party discipline, and it can promote defection and corruption. So today, in today's time, NOPA is only in our Lok Sabha elections. Like you can while voting you can select the Nota option. Like you are not it means you are not supporting anyone, right? But Nota is not available in Rajya Sabha elections. It is not available in presidential elections. It was there before in Rajya Sabha, but now it is not there. As per the Shailesh Manubhai Parmar case, it is not there. It is only in the Lok Sabha elections, and Nota does not have a legal backing. Does not have a legal backing. Remember, okay. Next, composition of House of People. Now we will talk about the composition of the Lok Sabha. We are already done with Rajya Sabha. We will be doing about Lok Sabha. So in Lok Sabha, not more than 530 members chosen by direct elections from our territorial constituencies in the states. Every state has territorial constituencies. We vote for them, and for the Lok Sabha seat in our Lok Sabha elections every 5 years. So not more than 530 members. Not more than 12 members to represent the union territories, chosen in such manner as the Parliament may by law provide. Again, Parliament may by law will provide. Not more than 20 members will be elected from union territories. For the purpose of subclause A is this. Clause 1 is this. So for this thing, like the direct election part, there shall be allocated to each state a number of seats in the House of the People in such a manner that the ratio between the number of seats and the population of that state is, as so far practicable, is the same for all states. Now this is the criteria. See, every state will have different population, right? Every state like UP, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Odisha, every state has a number. Lok Sabha seats alag रहता है. Every state has different number of Lok Sabha seats. Now the criteria is the number of seats allotted to each state is in such a manner that the ratio between between that number divided by the population, the number which comes, it is equal for all states. The number of seats allocated to that state divided by population from that state, the value which comes, this value is equal for all states. Okay. Now the question is, now in this criteria for direct elections for Lok Sabha, now we are talking about the House of the People. Okay, Lok Sabha. Here the population used is 1971 census. Remember, here the population while calculating for each states is 1971 census population is taken into account. Just remember. Okay. Next. So this is one criteria. Now second is each state. Now each state also will be divided into territorial constituencies because representatives will come from its constituency, right? So each state will be divided into territorial constituencies in such a manner that the ratio between the population of each constituency, here it is not the state, it is a constituency's population, and the number of seats allotted to is the same throughout the state. So each state will also, now suppose take this state, okay, take the state of UP. Now UP may, obviously UP will be divided into number of constituencies, okay. So each state shall be divided into territorial constituencies in such a manner that the ratio between the population of that constituency and the number of seats allotted to it is the same throughout the state. Now here each constituency's population is taken as per 2001 census. This is the basic difference. Okay. So here population also, the expression population means the population as ascertained in the last preceding census of which the relevant figures have been published. So for the purpose of clause A of clause 2, the reference is 1971 census. Clause A of clause 2 means this. Okay, 1971 census, when we take from like the number of seats in the Lok Sabha. Okay, so here the number and the population of the state is included. It is 1971 census. And the second thing, for the purpose of clause B, it means this one, it is 2001 census when you take the constituency uniformity. So one is from state level uniformity and one is from a constituency level uniformity. Both uniformity has to be maintained. Okay, so same thing have been repeated. Not more than 350 members, 20 members from, not more than 20 from UT, not more than 2 members belonging to Anglo-Indian community. Okay, now not 2 members belonging to the Anglo-Indian community appointed by the president. Okay, this provision, now this provision is not there because it has been scrapped now recently. There is no extension, so there will be no more nomination to Anglo-Indians. Recently it has been done in 2020. So from now on, no nomination to Anglo-Indians. For the purpose of elections to the Lok Sabha, each state is divided into territorial constituencies in such a manner that ratio between the population of each constituency, that is a 1971 census population, and the number of seats allotted to it is the same throughout. Thus uniformity is different states and different constituency. Different states 1971 census, different constituencies 2001 census. Okay. So this has been done by the 84th Constitutional Amendment Act. This has been done in the 84th Constitutional Amendment Act. The population data is now as per 1971. Now next it will be the 2031 census because freeze kar diya gaya hai. The next census it will continue till the year 2006. The census which will be taken after 2026. Okay. So the government has made a amendment. They said okay, for different states will be taking right now 1971 census, and for constituency will be taking 2001 census, and it will continue till the census after the year 2006. After the year 2006. Okay. Next, Article 82 is readjustment after each census. Now see, there is a catch here. After every census, there has to be a readjustment. Obviously, every 10 years there will be a census. Obviously, there will be changes in population also. So, what Constitution says? Constitution में ये लिखा है कि upon the completion of each census, the allocation of seats in the House of People to the states and the division of each state into territorial constituencies shall be readjusted. The Constitution says कि after each census, the allocation of seats to Lok Sabha and the division of each state into territorial will be readjusted by such authority in such manner as the Parliament may by law determine. So there is no mention in Constitution about delimitation commission. This is nothing but delimitation commission. But in Constitution, the Parliament has been given the power. So the Parliament will construct this delimitation commission after every census. But this has been done only 4 times till now. Only 4 times till now, not after every year, because the 4 times through Amendment Act they will amend it, and the last was in 2001, and they have freezed it. कि now we'll go as per 1971 and 2001 census, 2001 for territorial, 1917 for allocation seats to the Lok Sabha till 2026. Next will be go for 2031 census. After 2026 will be 2031 census. So till here 2031 will go by 1971 and 2001 census. Okay. Same thing is mentioned. Okay. 1971 and 2001 census. 2001 for territorial constituencies and 1917 for House of the People. Allocation of seats in the House of the People. Very simple. Next, Article 83. Duration of the Houses of Parliament. The Council of State shall not be subject to dissolution, but as nearly as possible, 1/3 of the members thereof shall retire as soon as may be on the expiration of every second year in accordance with the provisions made in that behalf by the Parliament by law. So duration of the House of Parliament, one is for Rajya Sabha, one is for Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha we all know 5 years का होता है, but in Rajya Sabha because it is a permanent house, so it is not subject to dissolution. It never dissolves. It's a permanent house. But as nearly as possible, 1/3 of the members thereof shall retire on the expiration of every second year in accordance with provisions made on Parliament. So Parliament can make provisions related to duration of House of Rajya Sabha. So these are the tricks which you need to know, which you will not find in book, because we have to read between the lines. Now the duration of houses in 83 article we have, the second is House of the People and Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha will continue for 5 years from its first meeting. Okay, so it's a tenure of 5 years. 5 साल का सरकार रहता है. Obviously before 5 years also it can be dissolved. It depends. There are other conditions like no confidence motion अगर पास हो जाता है या फिर मेजोरिटी नहीं होता है. All those stuff is different things, but basically it's 5 years. Okay, provided that during that the said period, that is the 5 years, while a proclamation of emergency is in operation, may be extended by the Parliament. ये हमने emergency chapter में पढ़ा था. When you go to an emergency chapter, there is article 352 national emergency. You must have read this statement, but the statement is actually mentioned in article 83 also. While a proclamation emergency चल रहा है, so these 5 years can be extended by law, by Parliament, for a period not exceeding 1 year at a time, and not exceeding in any case beyond a period of 6 months after the proclamation has ceased to operate. Fine. So this statement is mentioned in article 83. Okay, not in article 352. We study this line in emergency chapter, but this provision has come from article 83. Okay. Same thing have been mentioned here. Next, 84. 84 is qualification. Now qualification for membership of parliament. Okay, MP के लिए क्या qualifications है? One is obviously citizen of India. ठीक है? And makes and subscribes before some person authorized in that behalf by election commission on oath or affirmation according to the form set out in the third schedule. Now there is a trick. He must be a citizen of India. Okay, very common. He has to subscribe not to the election commission but to any other person authorized by election commission. Remember, it is not to the, he will not authorize. Why will he subscribe to the election commission? He will subscribe to that authority who has been selected by the election commission, or any person authorized in that behalf by the election commission. Okay, so there is a difference in statement. If the statement comes qualification ke liye you have to subscribe before the election commission, it will be a wrong statement. It's not before the election commission, it's before some other person authorized in that behalf by the election commission. Okay, so this is one thing. Second is for in case of Rajya Sabha, not less than 30 years of age. So Rajya Sabha के time पे, for Rajya Sabha you have to be 30 years, and Lok Sabha के लिए you have to be 25 years. Okay, 25 years. And for Panchayati Raj and all, tier 3, you have to be 21 years. That is different, not mentioned here. That is mentioned in 73rd constitutional amendment. Okay. Now this is the, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is possesses some other qualifications as may be prescribed in that behalf or as under law by the parliament. It means the parliament can also bring a law where it can provide some qualifications. These are constitutional qualifications. Some other qualifications have also mentioned in by the parliament through a law. What is the law? RPA Act of 1951. Representation of People's Act of 1951. Okay, this is a big act. We'll cover some other time, but just remember, you can cover it from internet, it's available. But the qualifications have also been there in RPA Act of 1951. Okay, so these are the thing. For example, if you come to the RPA Act, in RPA Act, this is a big act, but qualification related, it is mentioned, it requires that he must be registered as an elector for a parliamentary constituency. If the question comes, which of the following qualifications of a member to be a membership of parliament are mentioned in constitution or are constitutional qualifications? So these are only constitutional qualification. This is a legal qualification. It has come from law. You must be registered as an elector for a parliamentary constituency. Okay. Next, sessions of parliament. Sessions of parliament, prorogation and dissolution. The president shall from time to time. So where shall is there, so it is mandatory. Okay. Shall from time to time summon each house of the parliament to meet at such a time and place. Such time and place. It means here time is not mentioned, exact time is not mentioned, exact place is not mentioned. MCQ comes, if a MCQ come, you have to know. See, place, it may be anywhere. Even emergency situation comes like a COVID, you can't go, you can do session online because nothing is mentioned. At such, the word is such time and place as he thinks fit. Okay, it's not like a mandatory key. Okay, you have to, the president has to summon the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha only to the parliament. If he wants to summon to any other place, he can do, because there is no exactly mentioned. Okay, if you do good MCQs, you will find these kind of questions. Okay, as he thinks fit, but 6 months shall not intervene between its last sitting in one session and the date appointed for its first session in the next session. It means the gap between one session and the other session has to be maximum 6 months. So if you see, indirectly it's saying कि maximum 2 sessions can be done in a year. Okay, but we do 3 sessions. We have 3 sessions, right? Budget session, monsoon session and winter session. So these 3 sessions have come from convention. Constitution it is mentioned कि maximum. Constitution has not mentioned कि how many sessions you have to do. Constitution has only mentioned कि max, it will be 6 months. Max to max gap will be 6 months. That's it. The number of sessions has not been mentioned. Number of sessions have been not been mentioned in the constitution. Only the gap is mentioned. Fine. So we are doing 3 sessions. It has come from convention. Okay. The president may from time to time prorogue. See here, prorogue the parliament houses or either houses he can prorogue, but dissolve only the Lok Sabha. Remember, okay? Prorogue दोनों को कर सकते हैं, इधर लोकसभा और राज्यसभा, लेकिन डिसॉल्व सिर्फ लोकसभा को कर सकते हैं बिकॉज राज्यसभा कांट बी डिसॉल्व, इट्स अ परमानेंट बॉडी. फाइन. तो सेम थिंग्स यहाँ पे नीचे लिखा है इन नाइस लैंग्वेज. तो यहाँ पे वही चीज लिखा है, बट समनिंग का मीनिंग देख लेते हैं. समन मतलब कॉलिंग अप ए हाउस दैट इज इन कन्वोकेशन व्हेन इट इज कंसिडर्ड नेसेसरी. प्रेसिडेंट कैन समन. Prorogue, it is an end to a parliamentary session. एंड कर देगा, एक सेशन को एंड कर देगा, विच कैन ओनली बी गिवन बाय द प्रेसिडेंट. प्रोरोग कैन ओनली बी गिवन बाय द प्रेसिडेंट. डिसोल्यूशन मीन्स द एंड ऑफ द लाइफ ऑफ द हाउस ऑफ द लेजिस्लेचर एंड कॉल फॉर अ फ्रेश जनरल इलेक्शन. हाउस डिसॉल्व हो जाता है. ओके, सो दीज आर द थ्री मीनिंग्स. नाउ द राइट ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट to address and send messages. Now this is also a right, article 86. So there are two things, 86 and 87 में थोड़ा difference है. I'll tell you. Right of president to address and send messages to the house. So the president may address either house of the parliament or both houses assembled together. Now here, assembled together, and for that purpose require the attendance of members. So here the keyword is assembled together. प्रेसिडेंट कैन एड्रेस. तो प्रेसिडेंट अगर एड्रेस करेगा असेंबल्ड टुगेदर. प्रोरोग अलग अलग कर सकता है, सेपरेटली प्रोरोग कर सकता है, बट व्हेन द प्रेसिडेंट विल एड्रेस टू द पार्लियामेंट इट हैज टू डू इट टुगेदर, असेंबल्ड टुगेदर. द प्रेसिडेंट मे सेंड मैसेजेस टू ईदर हाउस ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट वेदर विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू ए बिल then pending in the parliament or otherwise, and a house to which any message is so sent shall with all convenient dispatch consider any matter required by the message to be taken into consideration. It means अगर president may send a message to either house with respect to any bill, there is a bill which is pending and the president is sending a message कि okay, I need something to consider any matter, so that thing has to be taken into consideration. It is mandatory. If the president does it, it is mandatory. The house has to take that. The house has to take it into consideration. Remember, it is mandatory. Okay, fine. Next, special address. Now this is special address is article 87. Now what is special address? See, special address is at special time, because it is special means it has to be some time, some special time. Special time means two things. One is every year when the first session starts, at the commencement of the first session after each general election, and one is after each general election. ठीक है, इसी दो टाइम पे प्रेसिडेंट विल एड्रेस. द प्रेसिडेंट शैल एड्रेस, सो इट इज ऑल्सो मैंडेटरी. प्रेसिडेंट हैज टू एड्रेस इट. Both houses of the parliament. Now again, assembled together. Both houses of the parliament assembled together. Okay, and inform the parliament of the causes of its summons. Provisions shall be made by rules. Now the provisions. Now this is the special thing. Just they told you, okay, the constitution makers told you, okay, president will do this address assembled together. Now provision. Now all this procedure, how it will be done, where it will be done, both house. So all those like procedure, you can say, they shall be made by rules. It will be made by rules. Rajya Sabha rules, Lok Sabha rules, regulating the procedure of either house for allotment of time for discussion of matters. So constitution में the time नहीं mentioned. The special address का time is not mentioned in the constitution. It is mentioned in the rules. Okay, or the procedure of the allotment for time or discussion, कितना टाइम होगा, कितना डिस्कशन होगा, क्या होगा, वो सब चीज रूल्स में लिखा है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लिखा नहीं है. ओके, नाउ द वर्ड्स प्रेसिडेंट शैल एड्रेस. आई टोल्ड द प्रेसिडेंट शैल, हर जगह शैल लिखा है, सो इट मीन्स इट इज बाइंडिंग ऑन द प्रेसिडेंट टू एड्रेस बोथ हाउसेस ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट अगेन असेंबल्ड टुगेदर एट अ कमेंसमेंट ऑफ द फर्स्ट सेशन आफ्टर ईच जनरल इलेक्शन ऑफ द हाउस ऑफ द पीपल and at the commencement of the first session of each year. So each year and after each general election. हर साल होगा और हर जनरल इलेक्शन 5 साल के बाद जो जनरल एनी जनरल इलेक्शन होता है उसके बाद होगा. ठीक है. नाउ जस्ट नीड टू मेक वन पॉइंट हियर. assembled. Now here one thing you should make a note here. It is there assembled together, right? Assembled together. Suppose think कि one house is not in session. One house is dissolved. Okay, only Rajya Sabha is there, Lok Sabha is not there at that point of time. At that point time of also special address can be done. It has been done once. This has been done, this condition, like Lok Sabha was not there, only Rajya Sabha was there, and special address was done in 1977. Remember, so it can be done. Normal circumstances, they have to be assembled together. When both will be in session, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it has to be assembled together. Okay. Next, Article 88. 88 is regarding right of ministers. So here we are only talking about ministers, not MPs. Only ministers, not all MPs. All MPs are not ministers, right? Right of ministers and Attorney General. Attorney General has separate article, but here some like some provisions have been mentioned regarding both ministers and Attorney General as respects house. Like both these ministers and Attorney General shall have the right to speak, right to take part in proceedings of either house both, also in joint sitting, any joint sitting of the houses, and also in any committee of the parliament of which he may be named a member, but shall not vote. They can't vote, they can sit, they can talk, they can speak in joint sitting, in single sitting, in any committee of which they may be named as a member, in any committee, but they do not have right to vote. Okay, so right to speak, right to take part, joint sittings, and in any committee of the parliament of which he is a member. Not in all committees, they are not members, they can't go and talk. Only if he is a member. But joint sittings, right to speak and take part, they can go. Obviously, Attorney General is not a member, right? So this is the provision related to Article 88. Okay. Next, 89. Chairman and Deputy Chairman of Council of State Rajya Sabha. First of all, we'll talk about the Chairman and Deputy Chairman. The Vice President is the ex-chairman. Who is the Vice President? He shall be the ex-officio Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Council of State shall, as soon as may be. Now here, see, the term here is as soon as may be, means no time limit. The Rajya Sabha shall mandatorily choose a member of the council, choose a member of the Rajya Sabha, anyone from the Rajya Sabha, to be a deputy chairman. And so often as the office of deputy chairman becomes vacant, the council shall choose another member of the deputy chairman. Now see, the Council of States, that is the Rajya Sabha will choose, no time limit, any member of the council to be a deputy chairman. Now, if deputy chairman seat becomes vacant, again the council shall choose another member of the deputy chairman there, another member to the deputy chairman. See, so here the Council of States, that is the chair, Rajya Sabha itself will choose. Here there is no vice president, no president, nobody else. It's a state Council of State. The Rajya Sabha will choose. Okay. So the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha is known as the chairman. The vice president is the ex officio. The deputy chairman is elected by the Rajya Sabha. Again, see, the deputy chairman is elected by the Rajya Sabha itself from its members. The deputy chairman performs the duties of the chairman's office when it is vacant. When it is vacant, he will perform the duty, and if he is not there, another person from the from the Rajya Sabha will be selected by the Rajya Sabha itself from its members. Now, Article 90. Vacation, resignation, and removal from the office of deputy chairman. A member holding office of deputy chairman, suppose a member is holding office of deputy chairman, how he will be removed? See, why you are not talking? Why here? You will ask me, sir, why we are talking about the removal of deputy chairman and we are not talking about the chairman? Because chairman is nothing but the vice president. So, removal of vice president may, this provision will be there. That is union executive. When we cover vice president in union executive chapter, this is parliament chapter. Okay. So here vice president shall vacate his office if he ceases to be a member of the council. So if he is not now, suddenly ceases to be a member, if he loses his member of the council, he will lose his position, because from the Rajya Sabha only he has been selected. May at any time by writing under his hand addressed to the chairman resign his office. may be removed from his office by a resolution of the council passed by majority of all the then members. All the then means the present and voting members can be removed by a resolution of the council, but provided that 14 days notice have to be given. 14 days notice have to be given. Okay. So deputy chairman का removal ऐसे ही होता है. So 3 things. Now article 91, power of deputy chairman or other persons to perform the duties of the house or to act as a chairman. Now very important, you have to check. I will tell you the trick how to remember. Power of the deputy chairman to perform the duties of the chairman. It means chairman, when chairman is not there, that is if vice president is not, if the president vice president is not there, so how the deputy chairman will perform the duty? There are 2 conditions. Simple. Okay. First of all, the term is vacancy. Second, the term is absent. Just remember, first of all, 2. When one condition is vacant and one condition is absence. Now coming to the first condition, when the office of chairman is vacant or during any period the vice president is acting as or discharging the functions of president. Suppose the vice president, who is the chairman of Rajya Sabha, is performing as president. Maybe president is not there and vice president is performing as president. So obviously the office of vice president is vacant. So means the Rajya Sabha chairman office is vacant. So at that time, the duties of this office shall be performed by deputy chairman. Okay. Or if the deputy chairman is also vacant, by such member of the council of state as the president may appoint. Clear? So it will be performed if it is vacant, it will be performed by deputy chairman, and if deputy chairman is not there, the president may appoint anyone from the Rajya Sabha, by such member of the council of states. Clear? Now when it is absent, when it is absence of the chairman, now vacancy or absence में difference है. Vacancy means seat is totally vacant. Absent means he is absent. Today is absent due to illness or due to something. He is absent. He may come tomorrow, day after tomorrow, but he is absent. When there is absence of chairman from any sitting of the Rajya Sabha, the deputy chairman, or if he is also absent, such person as may be determined by the rules of procedure of the council, or such person, and or if no such person is present, such person as may be determined by the council. This is the trick. So how to remember? If there is absence, obviously in first case deputy chairman will work. Now if deputy chairman is not there, any other person as determined in the rules of procedure of Rajya Sabha can be done, or if such person is also not there, the Rajya Sabha will decide. Here the term is president will decide. In vacant the term president. See, first case are equal. Both are because of vacancy also and because of absence also deputy chairman. In both the cases deputy chairman will do. But in first vacancy case, if deputy chairman is absent, then president will decide. Here if deputy chairman is absent, then as per the rules of procedure of the council, whatever is mentioned, that will go. And if that guy also not there, then finally the Rajya Sabha will decide. In case of absence, simple. You can note down in a very rough format. You can remember. Do not get confused. So president term only comes in when the term is vacant. When the term is absent, there is no usage of word called president. Okay. Next, 92. The chairman or deputy chairman not to preside while a resolution of his removal from office is under consideration. Suppose there is a removal resolution of either chairman, who is the vice president, or the deputy chairman, to remove them. Some resolution is going on at that particular time, they will not preside. Okay, simple. They will not preside, but they will have the right to speak. They will have they can present. They can they will not be. They will not preside. Okay, they will not preside though he is present, and the provisions of clause 2 shall apply. Forget it. Simple. Remember, they will not preside, but they will have the right to speak. They'll right to take part in the proceedings. Okay. They shall not be entitled to vote on all such resolution or any other matter as during such resolution. Okay, just remember, they'll not preside, they'll not be entitled to vote. So in note you can see Article 92, this one. Article 92 provides that when a resolution for the removal of Vice President is under consideration, the chairman may be present and speak in the House and take part in the proceedings without any casting vote. Without casting vote, but he shall not preside. Or he will not preside. And he can take part but no casting vote. Now about Lok Sabha. The Speaker and the Deputy Speaker of the House of People. The House of the People shall have, as soon as may be, choose 2 members of the House to be the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. Okay, as soon as may be. So here also the time is not mentioned. The Lok Sabha shall choose 2 members. One is Speaker, one is Deputy Speaker. And so often as the office of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker becomes vacant, कभी कभार अगर स्पीकर और डेप्यूटी स्पीकर का ऑफिस वैकेंट हो गया, then again the house shall choose another member to be speaker and deputy speaker as the case may be. So who is choosing? The house is choosing. Lok Sabha is choosing from its members, not president. Okay, वैकेंसी भी होती है तभी भी यहाँ पे स्पीकर और डेप्यूटी स्पीकर उसी हाउस द सेम लोक सभा विल चूज. 94. Vacation and resignation of and removal from the offices of Speaker and Deputy Speaker. A member who is holding a office of Speaker or Deputy Speaker of the House vacate कैसे कर सकते हैं? Obvious सी बात है, if he ceases to be a member of the Lok Sabha, may at any time by writing दोनों एक दूसरे को रेजिग्नेशन दे सकते हैं. स्पीकर कैन गिव टू डेप्यूटी स्पीकर, डेप्यूटी स्पीकर कैन गिव टू स्पीकर. May be removed from his office by one more is resolution by majority of all members, then members means present and voting. Okay, but provided same 14 days notice is required. Provided that whenever the Lok Sabha is dissolved, the speaker shall not vacate his office until immediately before the first meeting of the House of the People after dissolution. Immediately वो vacate नहीं करेंगे. Okay. Fine. Next, the same thing is mentioned. Article 95. Power of the deputy speaker or other person to inform the duties. Same thing. Now, same thing. When the speaker position is either vacant, 2 cases when the speaker position is vacant and the speaker position is absent. So when speaker position vacant, obviously it will be performed by deputy speaker. When deputy speaker is vacant, then any member from the Lok Sabha will be taken by the president. Here president comes. Always vacancy में president word आती है. Remember. First case में तो vacancy के बाद obviously deputy speaker will come in first instance. Second instance में if he is not there, then president will appoint from the house. Okay, vacancy. Now come to absence. Absence में again when he is absent for today or tomorrow he is absent. Then first case में deputy speaker always. Deputy speaker first case में first instance में is always deputy speaker. Then if deputy speaker is not there, okay, then any person as may be determined by the rules of procedure. Again, rules of procedure here is Lok Sabha rules. And if that person is absent, then any member determined by the house itself. Same thing. Rajya Sabha में जैसा था similar Lok Sabha में वैसा है. But you just need to know, they will confuse you here in the second instance. In the second instance, first instance is okay. For vacancy and absence, first instance is deputy speaker. Problem comes in the second instance. Okay. Fine. So questions can be made from here. They can be easily tricked. Trick करके put कर सकते so that you get confused. So just remember, it's very easy. Vacancy के साथ second instance में president आएगा. Speaker के साथ absence के साथ rules of procedure आता है second instance में. Third instance में that is not there. Then again it will be done by the house itself. Okay, 96. Speaker or deputy speaker not to preside while a resolution for his removal is under consideration. Same thing here, when there is a resolution going on, for the removal, they can't preside, right? They can't preside. So the speaker shall have the right to speak, to take part in proceedings, everything they can do. Okay, but they can't preside. But here one difference is there. They can entitled to vote here only in the first instance. Rajya Sabha mein they are not entitled to vote. They're not entitled to vote the casting vote. Okay, here only in the first instance on such resolution or any other matter during such resolution, but not in the case of equality of votes. In Rajya Sabha, equality of votes mein they can, that is the casting vote. When there is equality of votes, they can do. But here only in the first instance they can vote. Okay, this is the only difference between the Rajya Sabha provision and the Lok Sabha provision with particular to this matter. Okay, same thing here. He can take part. Same thing is written. He cannot preside. Okay, when the resolution is going on for a speaker, he cannot preside. He may be present. He can speak. He can take part, and he can also vote. Only at the first instance, though not in case of equality of votes, which is the other case in Rajya Sabha. They can vote in equality of votes only. That to deputy speaker. Here, if the resolution for the removal of deputy speaker is in concern, he cannot preside at the sitting of the house, though he may be present. Okay. Salaries and allowances of the chairman and deputy speaker. उनका सैलरीज मतलब डेप्यूटी चेयरमैन, डेप्यूटी स्पीकर, डेप्यूटी स्पीकर सबका, राज्यसभा और लोकसभा का दोनों का सैलरीज एंड अलाउंसेस आर फिक्स्ड, सिंपल आर फिक्स्ड बाय द पार्लियामेंट. Unless parliament makes a law, they will be done as per the second schedule. When in 1950 constitution was made, they told parliament we were giving the power to the parliament, but until parliament makes a law, parliament will not make a law immediately, right? Parliament will make a law, it will take some time, it will take some years. Now there is a law, but if parliament cannot make a law, till then it will work as per the second schedule. But now there is a law, parliament does it through a law. Okay, salaries, allowances. Article 98 is important from exam point of view. Article 98, very important. Article 98 is Secretariat of Parliament. Secretariat. Now see, each house mandatorily should have a separate secretarial staff. We talk about Lok Sabha Secretariat, Rajya Sabha Secretariat, we talk na. These are not mentioned in constitution. It is only mentioned कि secretarial staff रहेगा. Staff, the term is staff. Now these have come from rules. So rules में उन्होंने बता दिया, but constitution में only it is mentioned about secretarial staff. There is no mention of Lok Sabha Secretariat. There is no mention in constitution about Rajya Sabha Secretariat. Those are outside the constitution, they have come. Constitution में बस इतना लिखा है कि separate secretarial staff. Remember, it will help you in prelims question. Okay. Provided that nothing in this clause shall be constructed as preventing the creation of post common to both houses. तो post can be created by the government. बहुत सारे पोस्ट क्रिएट होते हैं, एग्जाम्स होते हैं, एसएससी एग्जाम्स होते हैं. ओके, अलग अलग एग्जाम, सेक्रेटेरियल एग्जाम्स निकलते हैं. ओके, सो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लिखा है they can be created, post can be created. So here constitution does not talk about Lok Sabha Secretariat or Rajya Sabha Secretariat. It only talks about secretarial staff. Okay. Parliament may by law regulate the recruitment, conditions, service of persons appointed to the secretarial staff. Parliament through law रिक्रूटमेंट कंडीशंस रेगुलेट कर सकता है, थ्रू लॉ, थ्रू रेगुलेशन. जैसे कि एसएससी तो एज एन एक्ट में नहीं है लेकिन रूल्स में है. ओके, 1970s में आया था एसएससी. अंटिल प्रोविजन इज मेड बाय द पार्लियामेंट, लेकिन जब तक प्रोविजन नहीं हुआ, अंटिल प्रोविजन इज मेड बाय द पार्लियामेंट, प्रेसिडेंट भी कर सकता है. प्रेसिडेंट रूल्स बना सकता है, कैन मेक रूल्स रिगार्डिंग द रिक्रूटमेंट, condition of service, appointed and secretarial select, but has to take the consultation with the speaker of the house, of that house, or the chairman राज्य सभा का. जब तक पार्लियामेंट का लॉ नहीं बना है, till parliament law is not made, president after consulting with the speaker of the house for Lok Sabha secretary or राज्य सभा secretary के लिए they can consult the chairman of the house and make rules regarding recruitment, condition of service, to be appointed under secretarial staff. Okay, very easy. Article 98. Next. Article 99. Article 99 is conduct of business, oath or affirmation by members. Every member of either house of the parliament shall, every member, कोई भी member, कोई भी house का mandatory before, not after, बिफोर टेकिंग ए सीट, सीट लेने के बाद नहीं हो सकता. सीट लेने के बाद अगर बिना ओथ के आप सीट लेते हो तो यह फाइन 500 रुपीज फाइन देना पड़ेगा. विल कम इन पार्ट 2, विल स्टडी दिस. देयर इज ए फाइन. नेक्स्ट इन टुमारोज क्लास विल कम टू नो. So shall before taking a make and subscribe before the president. Before the president you have to take an oath. But the question also, if the question comes, every member of the parliament have to take an oath before the president only. Wrong statement. It can be done before the president or some other person appointed in that behalf by the president. President can appoint any other person and tell him you take the oath. Okay, an oath or affirmation according to the principle set in the third schedule. ठीक है. In Rajesh Ranjan case of Bihar, it was held that oath is required to be taken by members elected by parliament even while such member is in custody. अगर कोई भी member custody में है उस टाइम पे और उसने जीत लिया है तब भी the oath has to be taken. Oath is a must. Oath you have to take if you are in custody also. 2000 का Rajesh Ranjan case. Next, last article of today's class. This is a part 1. Part 2 will be there in the next video. So we'll be covering total the long parliament chapter in 2 classes only. In second class we'll be covering budget, cut motion, this motion, all those things will be coming. Appropriation bill, that is more important. Money bill. So 100 is voting in houses. Power of houses to act notwithstanding vacancies and quorum. It means, as otherwise provided in the constitution, all questions at any sitting of either house or joint sitting shall be determined by a majority of votes present and voting other than the speaker. Obviously anything which needs to be passed, it has to be done by voting, right? So majority of vote, that is a common thing, voting होता है. लेकिन यहाँ पे the chairman or speaker or the person acting as a chairman or speaker shall not vote in the first instance, but shall have exercise a casting vote in case of equality. This is normal circumstances. This is normal circumstances. We are not talking when a removal resolution is going on. When the removal resolution is going on, then that case is different, which we have already discussed. Different for different. Chairman and speaker के लिए different है. But this is normal circumstances में both of them or any other person acting as a chairman or speaker will only exercise a casting vote. That is when votes are equal, they will have a casting vote. Normal case में वो first instance में vote नहीं कर सकते. Okay. Next, either house of the parliament shall have the power to act notwithstanding any vacancy in the membership, and any proceedings in the parliament shall be valid. Okay. That it is discovered subsequently that some person who was not entitled to do so or voted so otherwise took part in the elections. So दोनों हाउस ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट के पास पावर होगा मतलब कोई भी वैकेंसी वो वैकेंट कर सकते हैं अगर किसी ने एंटाइटलमेंट के बिना पार्टिसिपेट किया है प्रोसीडिंग्स में. इफ एनीवन हैज पार्टिसिपेटेड विदाउट हैविंग दैट एंटाइटलमेंट, ओथ नहीं लिया होगा या फिर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स आर देयर, तो दोनों हाउस के पास पावर होगा मेंबरशिप में वैकेंसी लाने के लिए, उनको हटा सकते हैं. रिमेंबर. ओके. नाउ द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. क्लॉज 4 कैन कम इन एग्जाम. आई टेल यू हाउ. देयर इज ए कैच. क्लॉज 4. क्लॉज 4 में क्या बोल रहा है? इफ एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, इट टॉक्स अबाउट quorum. We all know there is quorum has to be maintained. We have read in the book Lakshmikant. Okay, so if at any point of time during the meeting of a house, suppose there is no quorum, so it shall mandatory, it shall be duty of the chairman in Rajya Sabha or the speaker in Lok Sabha or any person acting as such either to adjourn the house or to suspend the meeting until there is a quorum. Until there is a quorum, they can suspend the meeting. Now, this is mentioned in part 1. Now, like today class, in tomorrow's class we'll study Parliament can also have the power. Tomorrow we'll study Parliament has also has the power to regulate quorum. In tomorrow's class we'll study. So we have covered till 79 to 100. Next is 101 to 122. We'll also cover 123 because it is the ordinance making power, the single chapter. So Parliament will be ending in 122. So this is more important because money bills, budget, financial bills, all those things will come very important from exam point of view. This Parliament chapter is very important. So hardly in 2 hours you can end the whole Parliament chapter. People tell that Parliament takes a lot of time. So this session is hardly 1 hour. Next session will be hardly 1 hour. In 2 hours you will have complete clarity on the chapter Parliament. Okay, fine. Thank you.